is Tharusha Mudalige. I am 17 and I'm a student. I would describe my skin color as pretty dark, as you can probably see. I think that anyone living in South Asia, or the world for that matter, with a darker skin complexion has experienced certain microaggressions towards the color of their skin. The earliest that I can remember of these microaggressions would be like when my relatives would come up to me and tell me, "Oh, look at how dark you've gotten," or "how fair you've gotten since the last time I've seen you." And I think that those little jabs and comments, they kind of build themselves up and manifest themselves as insecurities later on in your life. Like, I know that I had a lot of prejudice towards the color of my own skin because of all of this. And I distinctly remember when I was growing up in Canada, in around grade 5 and grade 6, a few of my classmates would look at me and point out, and would say that the color of my skin resembled that of the color of feces. And at the time, it wasn't really the biggest of my concerns because I was already being made fun of for being quite the effeminate boy and for being a homosexual. But at the time, I didn't know. And I think that those comments did spark a kind of deep-rooted insecurity in me. Yeah. That everyone can probably relate to your aunties and uncles telling you about how dark you've gotten or fair you've gotten. Yeah, so I think that that's the most common way that most people just feel a bit. Thankfully, no, but it's just those little comments and jabs again. I think that it's again the same thing with the comments, but really as a kid you can't grasp what's being said. So, and those kind of, again, I'm repeating a lot, but those comments and jabs, they kind of snowball into an insecurity that a lot of people don't know that they have. And when I was around 12 to 15, it kind of showed itself, as in I was constantly trying to buy fairness creams or face washes that said fairness on them because I thought that to be more aesthetically pleasing, I would need to be more fair. And that wasn't the case at all. I was just being foolish because at the end of the day, there was nothing wrong with the color of my skin, and it was all due to society's expectations of what I needed to look like. Not an adult yet, I'm still 17, but I think that with age there comes a certain maturity, and with age also comes that awareness because of your access to social media. And that's why I'm always pushing for acceptance and self-love on my social media platforms, because I know the difference that it can make in making educated opinions and guesses about yourself, other issues and topics. So yeah. I think they come from a lot of different parts of my life, like again from relatives, or like when we'll be walking down the road and my driver will, driving down the road, my driver will point out someone and be like, "Oh, look how dark they are." And I'll just look at them like, why would you say that? But I think that I first started speaking out about colorism in Sri Lanka when I saw a certain individual's controversial TikTok one day. It was about promoting glutathione treatments. It's a kind of fairness product that makes you fairer. But I replied with my own video where I asserted that it was his own decision to whiten his skin. However, when you promote whitening products, you are, number one, you're enabling the stereotype that fair skin is more desirable and dark skin is ugly, but you're also harming a lot of people in the process of doing this, because people don't really understand that your actions have consequences. We are human, we are social creatures, and we depend on this cooperation to survive and thrive. My English teacher's probably going to be happy on this one. but I remember that J.B. Priestley in An Inspector Calls once said, we are members of one body and we are responsible for each other. So I don't think that you can just be oblivious to everything that happens when you promote fairness creams, because this individual has thousands upon thousands of followers on TikTok, and TikTok is a public platform consisting of hundreds of children on it, and these children are quite impressionable and young. So when you promote fairness creams, you are effectively teaching them that the color of their skin is something to be ashamed of. So obviously, these kids are going to look for solutions to try to whiten their skin. However, the solution that this individual proposes, glutathione treatments, they're quite expensive, and more often than not, these kids won't be able to afford them. So they're going to resort to finding bleaching creams. And the problem with using bleaching creams is the main two ingredients are really harmful for you. Number one, mercury. It's a toxic metal, and it also leads to liver failure and kidney failure. Not only that, but hydroquinone. It is a known carcinogen. And I think that when you promote fairness creams, you are, number one, again, enabling negative or detrimental opinions to society, but socially not, but you are also doing it physically, because these kids at the end of the day, after using these products on and on, they're going to have lots of issues with their skin. They'll have skin cancer and lots of different. I'm very fortunate in that way that I haven't, because of the fact that I've been surrounded with a very accepting school life and lots of friends that have educated themselves about these issues. But I can imagine that for other people it'll be way worse, because I'm quite privileged in that matter. I definitely think it does. I think that goes the same for any South Asian country, because if you look at the advertisements on TV today, or advertisements especially regarding beauty products, they will almost always feature a fairer person, because most of these products do contain certain elements that claim to make you look fairer or brighter in the disguise of whitening products. And I think that it is quite detrimental, because when a lot of people growing up need to see people like them to feel secure in themselves. I know that I needed that, because growing up I didn't really have anyone to look up to, and I think that did quite a number on my mental health. And I think that putting darker skinned individuals in the limelight is quite important, because we are, again, a country that is made up of a majority dark skinned individuals. And when you see someone that represents who you are and what you are like on such a public place, it really makes you feel good about yourself. Again, I think it is very detrimental to society standards, because you are again enabling this stereotype that dark skin is ugly, and it's sounding a bit repetitive here, but we need to stop that as soon as possible, because you are just enabling and making a space where lots of people feel insecure in their own skin, and I don't think that should be the case, because everyone in their own right is beautiful. I think that at the end of the day, we're all different in our own way, and our differences don't make us any less valid than anybody else, and that you are beautiful in your own right. So you should be able to celebrate your individuality and live your life to the fullest, because at the end of the day, it's your life, it's nobody else's. So it shouldn't matter what society is saying or what anybody else is saying to you. Love your color.